Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on the video. It means a lot. Happy Easter to you all. And today, Coach Carter's troops at UT Martin are ready to kick off the Year 4 conference tournament as the Skyhawks try to make it 2 straight years in the NCAAs. Welcome back to the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring the legendary Coach Carter as we're ready to hop into Year 4's postseason, but not before 2 regular season games to finish Year 4, and the one we'll be highlighting today is an away game against Eastern Kentucky. And as taking a look at the standings real quick, a snapshot, unfortunately UT Martin cannot make it 2 straight years with regular season OVC titles. That distinction will go to Samford. UT Martin just kind of sputtering a little bit these last few weeks, and a big reason for that was Chris Fay's absence. But the top headline for Skyhawk Basketball heading into postseason time is the return of Chris Fay, and he will be 100% for the Eastern Kentucky game and thus the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. Finally, he's back. We've seen his absence take a huge toll on UT Martin. The last few weeks they've dropped some very winnable games. They've been inconsistent on offense due to the guards having to make up for that scoring, and the rebounding has been hit or miss, but hopefully these trends change for the better with Fay's return, and UT Martin can return to the big dance for the 2nd straight year. So, 2 more regular season games to go over. Unfortunately, Samford has clinched the top spot in the tournament, but winning these next 2 can at least ensure that we're going to be the 2nd seed in the OVC tournament. So, Eastern Kentucky versus UT Martin to end off the regular season. Let's get into it, and immediately Marquis Saunders spotting up. P tickles the twine to kick us off. And I know Saunders is a big fan of this gym as EKU looking a little bit flat here. A very lackadaisical pass to kick their side of things off, and then Saunders with a cross, and he'll finish. No surprise to see Saunders with a little pep in his step to start this game. He seems to love EKU's gym. I remember it was an away game in his freshman year where he came off the bench when David Jaws was still starting at the 2, and Saunders put up 29, his highest tally off the bench in his freshman year. Then you saw Aaron Dooley score a 3-point play for the Colonels, and then Chris Fay shaking off some of the cobwebs. He turns it over, and then on the other end, that was Jay Jennings to Sam Rigel. That is 2 underclassmen hooking up for that lob, and EKU, a fringe playoff team, they're not as solid this year as we normally see them. They're normally contenders for a top spot in the tournament, but they're still fighting for maybe a 7 or 8 seed here down the stretch. And now Aaron Dooley, he converts another 3-point play, and Chris Fay, or Blaine Fry rather, will have an early exit as Dooley has a quick 6 points. And Aaron Dooley is a sophomore center that I like a lot. A 7-footer. He kind of reminds me a lot of Seneca Lopez on Samford. Maybe not as polished on offense, but he's got the tools, he's got the physicals to be a very solid player for years to come. And then there's Chris Fay, little baby post hook, good feed by Saunders. Welcome back, Chris Fay. 17-14 game. It's been a very high scoring one. These teams going back and forth. And how about Easley with a pretty boneheaded turnover there. Jay Jennings on the other end, kiss off the glass. Grant Foster, the 2-guard, records assist number 2, and EKU so far is playing up with UT Martin. Not a lot of defense being played today. These 2 teams are going back and forth at a track meet pace. And now Easley and Gardner run a pick and roll, and we need to take a second look at that play. Wow. Easley reversed the ball to Fay at the elbow, and Fay always thinking 1 step ahead. Great look inside to Teron Gardner. And Gardner was somebody who we saw kind of sputter a little bit whenever he had to take over the starting lineup with Fay's absence. He was always solid off the bench to begin this season, but this year he didn't really seem like he was ready for the spotlight in the starting 5, but if he can go back to being solid off the bench, that's all we're going to need for him. Nice shot there by Jock Diggs off the last possession. Now 27-22, the biggest lead in a while for UTM, and Gardner will do nothing but extend it. A quick 9 points for the freshman Gardner, and it looks like he's back to his old self, really making plays off the bench happen. 9 points, maybe he needs a couple more seasons to marinate before being a full-time starter. Now there is Pierre Hamilton with a crafty finish. Alright, the junior, I almost said sophomore. He's technically a sophomore, but he played a year at JUCO, so Hamilton will be a senior next year as he takes over for Easley. And now Baez steps up. We've talked a lot about Saunders and Easley, this being their last dance here as a UT Martin Skyhawk, but Devion Baez, he's come out of nowhere this year to have a productive senior year of his own, and now Easley stroking it. Took a while for him to find his bearings, a couple of early turnovers and missed shots, but now he's starting to look better, and this shot right here is for 50 points as a team in the first half. UTM lighting the world on fire here in the first 15 minutes. This is definitely very refreshing to see. UTM definitely struggled a little bit in Faye's absence, but today, no problems at all, especially on offense as Easley. No, this isn't a replay. He really pulled again from the same spot. Easley up to 12. It seems like everybody's had a good day on offense. You know, up to 53 points already, but EKU making it a little bit more competitive here as Lawton now finds some open real estate to pull, and he swishes one through as well. Lawton with his first field goal tonight, he joins the fun with the rest of his Skyhawk teammates. Now Sam Rigel will drive, great contest by Faye and Fry alike, and Lawton with the long outlet pass to Saunders, who puts in a three-point play. EKU, they've had a good night on offense, but it's so hard sometimes. Some nights, some teams are just on, and UTM, this might be their best offensive showing of the entire season. And now, Blaine Fry, they bring a trap to him very high up on the key. Not a bad idea, pressuring Fry, who was handling the ball very far from the basket near the timeline, but you can't leave Saunders open whenever you decide to do that. 81-67, only a couple minutes left to play. We got 5 reserves out there as we close out this game as Baez continues to extend the lead. He's in double figures. Devion Baez, you know his story. He rode the bench for his first 3 years, and he's come off the bench for his 4th year with an expanded role, and he's really stepped in and made some big shots. Saunders to Easley there for one last 3 in this ball game as they celebrate 91-76. What a showing. I think everybody was excited that Chris Faye was back. You could really see the balance in this team whenever he's actually on the hardwood. And Saunders, you see him right there, 27 points without a missed shot. Wow, what a performance for Saunders to take into the postseason. As we all know, he dealt with some, tough games down the stretch there in the regular season, and then we make it 2 in a row as we also take down Tennessee State to enter the postseason with 22 wins on our resume. Blaine Fry with pretty much a career night. I mean, 12 and 17. That's a career high for rebounds for him, which, when you're talking about Blaine Fry and rebounds, that's an impressive mark. But Easley didn't play well in that game, and there was a reason for it. He did managed to get a little shaken up in the Tennessee State game. Patellar tendonitis. Oh, that's a tough break. He's day-to-day, so he will be suiting up and will be starting in the conference tournament. But I remember a season ago, Tennessee Martin was on upset alert by Southeast Missouri State in the first round when they were the #1 seed. So we're going to have to see how that injury impacts them against the Austin Peay Governors. We've seen Austin Peay twice this year like the rest of our Ohio Valley Conference foes, and we split the season series against them 1-1. Some fortunate news for the Skyhawks as the Governors of Austin Peay, who finished as the 7th-seeded squad for Ohio Valley Conference play, they will be without the services of Karan Woodard, a man who was top 10 in rebounds per game across the conference. It's a tough break for the Governors as they don't have much size to begin with, but we know their MO, Austin Peay, they like to give their players the green light to get up a lot of shots, and the stats don't lie. They're top 4 in the conference in team points per game, but bottom 4 in lowest field goal percentage. Alan Ratliff leads the club in scoring, but he also fills their entire stat sheet too. The senior 2-guard Ratliff, he's also top 3 in the team in rebounds, assists, and steals. The Austin Peay Governors trying a little small ball today as the underclassman Brandon Lennox will fill the void left at power forward by Karan Woodard. And Lennox on paper is a 3, so it'll be interesting to see how UT Martin combats this small ball running gun attack from the Governors. So we're already here in the Thompson Bowling Arena, as the University of Tennessee always hosts the OVC Conference Tournament. We're ready to get things underway. First possession for UT Martin. We're going to see some 2-3 zones, some 1-2-2 from the Austin Peay Governors defense. I like to switch things up on their opponents. High post, Blaine Fry kicks it out to Marquis Saunders, and just like the EKU game, he'll try one from the left wing. This time he's unsuccessful, but Chris Faye, he's in there. He's banging, and definitely expect to see a lot of crashing on the glass on both sides. We're going to try to take huge advantage of this size mismatch today. Now Sean Loeffler will pull, and he will net it as Austin Peay earns their first lead of the game. Pretty much all thanks to Sean Loeffler as the senior. He's got a quick 5 points. Former JUCO transfer is Loeffler. Now Marquis Saunders, he'll drive, kick it to the corner. Easley wide open, and he continues with his solid performances from last episode and last game out against EKU. Even though he's a little dinged up, it'll be interesting to see how he powers through that patellar tendonitis injury. And now Blaine Fry has some fun on the glass, completely dwarfing Sean Loeffler and company down low. 11-5, great start for UTM. And I bet these seniors have it in the back of their head. Saunders, Easley, Devion, Baez, and Gene Schofield, they know that the last game that they lose will be the last game of their UT Martin career. But Luke Lawton, wow, how about some range on that three? Man, I'd never expected to see him pull from 5 feet beyond the three-point line, but it looks like UT Martin is continuing their scorching, red-hot shooting from a game ago. And now Blaine Fry in the post does some work on Brandon Lennox. Nice little post move there from Fry as he's got his second field goal, I should say. 16-6 ball game as Blaine Fry looks like he wants to power again. This time he's got Alan Ratliff, a very easy matchup to take advantage of. No good on the first attempt, but the second one falls, plus a chance for one more at the charity stripe. Sean Loeffler rotating over, not in time to block that shot. Now we see Austin Peay smoking a gimme. That was only a 6-foot jump shot that their forward Steven Tyler missed. 18-8 run for UT Martin to begin this game as look at this teamwork around the perimeter. Easley, he's open. 21-8 Skyhawks, they got the early advantage. Easley still perfect from the field, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. And I was not expecting Easley to look this good playing through this injury. Steven Tyler will try to attack again, and the pass was deflected, but some luck there on the side of the Governors. Vondell Pitts, a freshman, will pick it up and score, drawing the foul from Teron Gardner. And we see Pitts at the line will knock down the free throw as well. So Austin Peay still hanging around a little bit, still plenty of time to play as Hamilton will weave his way around Pitts, throw up a layup, and just like Austin Peay earlier, Hamilton smokes this attempt. Pitts collects rebound number 3, and Ratliff back-to-back buckets for him. I didn't show it on camera, but he's got a quick 4 points straight unanswered for the Governors. So APSU only down by 7 with 5 and some change left to go. Hamilton, he will look cross-court to Devion Baez. Not the most open shot, but who cares? Devion Baez, man. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but he's been extraordinarily impressive here in his senior year. 27-21, what a powerful move by Teron Gardner. Put his head down, a powerful hop step through the lane. And even though UTM has cooled off a bit with the second half right around the corner, the reason that they're still find themselves on top is their work shutting down these Austin Peay shooters. Blaine Fry sends Lennox into the second row. And heading into the break, Austin Peay was only shooting 1 for 8 from downtown. Well off their normal average percentage-wise. 29-23, less than 2.5 to play here in the first half. Easley runs his man perfectly off of the Chris Fay 3, and he is still perfect. Dwight Easley, 11 points. Wow, unbelievable, man. He's played like he's not even dinged up at all. I guess he's got a little chip on his shoulder knowing that the next game he loses will be his last. Now Jacques Diggs checks in. A little floater. How about a teardrop over the Governors defender? Wow, Diggs puts a little bit of air underneath that one. That was a beautiful take there by Diggs. And UT Martin closing out the half ring, a 3-guard lineup with Diggs, Saunders, and Easley. Pretty interesting look here as Diggs has a chance to extend it to the double figures. Can't knock it down. Tim Byers will collect rebound number 4, and heading into the break, UT Martin's up by 9, looking good. And even though they are up by 9, it did look like they were going to straight up run away with this one, but Austin Peay started to get things going a bit. They started forcing more turnovers and kept Saunders off the score sheet for the most part. Only 1 for 6 shooting for the senior, but luckily, Easley has powered through his injury, and he's got Saunders back today. 11 points, 3 made triples, and the biggest difference has been in the interior. Without Karan Woodard, the Governors have been out-rebounded by 6. And Fay and Fry have both enjoyed their first 15 minutes. In fact, Blaine Fry, he looks like he's on pace for a career night tonight. 9 points and 8 rebounds. He also has chipped in a steal and that huge block on the perimeter we saw earlier. Wow, have a day, Fry. And even though UT Martin still put up 34 points, I mean, they did take 13 3 balls, only made 5 of them, so They started to settle a little bit there at the end of the second half, which let the door open for Austin Peay to make a little bit of a run. They're playing pretty scrappy today, I'm not going to lie. They're underhanded, but they are really showing a lot of heart out here. We got to keep going back inside like we did to begin the game to really put down the Governors. And there's Alan Ratliff. Finally, we see some signs of life for the senior 2-guard. Ratliff has 6 points. Now Kareem Hernandez will fire. He's normally so solid, 34% three-point shooter, but he has not made one today. But Saunders gives it right back, and this is far from his shining moment of his career. And we really need him today to really put down the Governors, as there's a couple baskets here and there. And immediately, Austin Peay back in the game, up by 5 only as UT Martin. So starting to press a little bit here is what we can't do. Easley instead will take it and draw some free throws. So Easley continues to make plays here, first half or second, and he'll step to the line. He knocked down the first one, trying to make it 2 for 2 today. And that one's off, but Luke Lawton's crashing the glass. Lost it for a second, got it back, some chaos underneath. But Lawton, he will rise above the ashes there and put that layup in. We saw Lawton stroke that absolute bomb there in the first half, and that was his first basket since. He's up to 5 points. We've seen him play better down the stretch here in the regular season, and then now he tips a shot away from Sean Loeffler. How about that anticipation on the post hook, and then he completes the sequence. Lawton with the offensive rebound and putback, then he swats Sean Loeffler and tacks on a three-pointer while he's at it. Hopefully UT Martin starting to pull away from the 7th-seeded Governors. 47-35, we're under 10 to play as Loeffler breaks open a little bit. Some defensive miscommunication there as Loeffler is up to double figures. He's been the best player on offense for Austin Peay today, and then Devion Baez will try it. And there's a rare sight. We haven't seen Baez miss too many open threes here, or threes in general really. Even when he's covered, he seems to always put up a good shot. And then Baez with terrible move there. He fouls Loeffler on the three-point attempt, breaking the golden rule in basketball. You never want to foul a jump shooter, especially one of the caliber of Sean Loeffler. And he would actually step up and hit all three. Don't let that Shaq-type free throw release fool you. He knocks him down at a high level. 53-45, Austin Peay still hanging around. Very impressive. And then Harris to it. The backup 2-guard will step up and close the gap to 5. And we've seen this a little bit today. The bench unit hasn't really looked their best. And we saw that also a bit in the EKU game. That's why we didn't completely blow out Eastern Kentucky in the last game, because the bench was a little hit or miss. Hopefully Diggs can knock this one down. A little ambitious, but he outdoes Lawton from the first half. That by far was the longest three-pointer we've seen today and perhaps the entire season. What range displayed there. Starting 5 checks back in, plus Teron Gardner, as now Saunders will stroke it from the right flank. Good pass there by Lawton going across the key. And Saunders has 7. He closed the game out pretty decently. Not his best showing, but all in all, it wouldn't matter. 66-57. UT Martin, 1 game down, 2 games to go to return to the NCAA tournament. That's how you take care of business, with Easley struggling, or rather Saunders struggling, and Easley being a little dinged up. Blaine Fry also had a career night. He finished the regular season with a huge performance, 17 rebounds against Tennessee State, and now 10-14, 2 steals and a block against Austin Peay. Diggs had a very important 7 points off the bench, and Luke Lawton had 7 second half points, with all 3 of his rebounds coming in the second half as well. And now we see Morehead State taking care of business as well. That'll be our next opponent. And at the top of the bracket, we see Tennessee Tech falls to the 5th-seeded Tennessee State Tigers and the 1-seeded Samford Bulldogs. No surprises there. They put down the 8th-seeded Jacksonville State Gamecocks by 9 points. So, Morehead State, a familiar rival for us. They really weren't a rival much when we began this series, but over the last 2 years, we've seen some very intense games, some chippy plays, some trash talking always seems to be in store when these two teams face off. Compared to Austin Peay, the Morehead State Eagles are just such a tough team to match up with. We saw Peay and we saw their stats. They just like to get up a lot of shots regardless of the quality of their looks, but Morehead State, they are a very efficient team on offense. Their big man tandem of Justin Slater and CJ DeFairs, they combined for over 27 points per game. but they also both have the skills to handle and pass the ball, and they surround those two bigs with a lot of three-point shooting. Johnny Langford, Derek Goyed, TJ Clark, and DeMonte Harper are all seniors who shoot at least 36% from three, so a very scary team to face on any given night. I think it's time we send the trash-talking, cheap-shotting Morehead State Eagles home early. Let's go, boys. We got one game down, 2 games to go for the NCAA tournament, and immediately Luke Lawton begins the game off quickly. He had a huge second half against P, and he immediately comes back and hits a jump shot, finding the soft spot in the 2-3 zone. We faced Morehead State twice in the regular season, and both those games were actually decided by single digits, so 2 very competitive games. The only problem is we kind of lost both those games, but regardless, it should be a good one tonight. I remember the most recent one we lost was the heartbreaker. Dwight Easley had a chance to win it with a layup, but it was actually blocked by Justin Slater. And speaking of Slater, he delivers a beautiful full-court pass. Wow. I said pregame, Morehead State, they're 2 bigs. They might be skilled in the post, but they still have the polish to facilitate and dribble the rock. And now Chris Fay tries to go to battle with DeFairs, and this is an Austin Peay. This time around, he's going to be met with a lot more resistance in the post. This time he finds some open space about 5 feet away from the basket, pulls the baby J, and a beautiful pass there by Dwight Easley, threading the needle on the baseline. And now we cut to Fay in the low post again. He's met with 2 Morehead State Eagle defenders, leaving Saunders unattended. 2 shots made on 2 attempts for Saunders, trying to rebound from his tough quarterfinals game against Austin Peay. And we saw there once again Chris Fay met with a lot more resistance in this game than he did ever in the Austin Peay games. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Morehead State not dealing with injuries like the Governors were. Now Saunders fires, he rushed it a little bit, but Lawton is there to clean up the mess. Love to see that. Lawton, once again, like I said, his play is just continuing to look better and better as we leak into the postseason as he drives again. A play ran for Lawton as Saunders came up and set a screen on the man who was in charge of that zone in the Morehead State 2-3 defense. Now DeMonte Harper, though, in the face of Jock Diggs. What a shot there. Harper, a senior, averages 8 and 3.5 on the year. And speaking of seniors, he is one of 9 upperclassmen on this Morehead State roster. Another one there tickling the twine is Johnny Langford. Both those guys had huge games last time these 2 teams faced off. And yeah, 9 upperclassmen on this Morehead State roster, 7 of those being seniors. So these kids have played a lot of basketball together, and it's showing. They are a very cultivated group. And Easley there with a layup on Langford. We know Johnny Langford not the best on-ball defender. In fact, he's pretty porous on the defensive side of the ball. But he comes back, and right in the face of Teron Gardner, he will make another shot. A beautiful layup. And then Easley, look at this. He's waving off his teammates. He wants to take it right back at Langford. Mano y mano. Look at the little battle here between Langford and Easley. And I bet if Morehead State didn't call timeout there, we would have seen some more of it. Instead, Easley gets subbed out for Pierre Hamilton, leaving UT Martin with 5 bench players out on the floor, and Jock Diggs trying to do all he can to knock Johnny Langford out of his rhythm. He's got 8 now. 4 quick field goals made for the senior Langford. And now Morehead State with their biggest lead of the ball game, and that's only going to increase here with a scoop and score by TJ Clark on Saunders. A couple boneheaded turnovers here in the last few games for Marcus. A little weird to see. And now how about Hamilton? He beats the press. Nice pass up to Fry, and then Fay and Fry go a little hot potato there in the post, and finally a basket for UT Martin. They went a long time without a field goal. All of a sudden, they find themselves down 7. They were off to such a solid start. Now Phil Barton will fire, no good. But then Spencer Summers on the glass. That is inexcusable. We had Fay and Fry right in the vicinity for that one. Instead, Spencer Summers soars up. He puts it in, draws the foul from Chris Fay, which is his 2nd of the half. So we're going to have to see Dominique Cleveland close out these last 92 seconds of the first half, as Summers will knock down the free throw, a former walk-on. Look at this showing by Morehead State heading into the second half. 36-24 as Saunders will run a pick and roll, and that pass was pretty. Wow. Saunders maybe in the gym with Easley to learn this pass, a little wraparound, not 1 but 2 Morehead State Eagle defenders, and Blaine Fry finally in the score sheet for the first time tonight. But even without that Blaine Fry layup, Morehead State is still on a 15-4 run currently. I mean, this offense has gone ice cold down the stretch for the Skyhawks, but Lawton with a nice defensive play there records another block, 1 second left. Easley will just roll the dice here, and that shot looked pretty good out of his hand. Unsuccessful though, and Morehead State, they have all the momentum heading into the locker room. This is very concerning. I think part of the issue is UT Martin started to get caught up in too much hero ball. Saunders started out 2 for 2 with some perfect jump shots, but he's missed his last 4 shots, and none of them have been good looks. And when the bench came in, their shot selection was pretty bad. You could see on defense the missed shots started to have an effect on the Skyhawks' defensive effort. The seniors Easley, Saunders, Schofield, and Devion Baez are the last players from Coach Carter's Year 1 roster, so you can understand why they're starting to feel the pressure and force up some shots. With the impact Saunders and Easley have had on the program in the last 4 years, a trip to the NCAA tournament to close out their careers would be a storybook ending, but they gotta turn things around quickly as Justin Slater operates on Dominique Cleveland, and wow, that's one of the best post players in the conference that Cleveland just stopped. And then, how about this pass? Blaine Fry, not once but twice, he'll have a chance at it, but he blows both opportunities and he commits a very stupid foul. You cannot reach in like that. Chris Fay is already on the bench with 2 fouls, and now Blaine Fry, as you saw on the bottom right, he's got 2 personals as well. And you just can't commit a foul like that 94 feet away from the basket. We're going to cut to a different offensive possession. This time, easy, no good, but Dominique Cleveland's in there with the bunch of players inside, and Saunders tries it from the same spot. Finally, a shot goes for him. He breaks his dry spell of 4 straight misses. And hopefully UT Martin, if Saunders can start going, maybe they will too. 41-29, 12 and a half left to go. Saunders dishing to Lawton, who puts the ball on the floor, and he will draw a bump, a foul, convert the basket, and we'll have a chance for one more at the line. What more can I say about Lawton? He's averaging above 10 points per game in the last 3 games of UT Martin's slate here down the stretch here in year 4. And now Easley puts the moves on Justin Slater, got him reaching there with the quick cross, and Easley's up to 8 now. He's shooting a good percentage, but he just hasn't found many looks today. 44-35, Morehead State with the advantage. TJ Clark, oh no, oh, we catch a break there. Clark shoots 41% from 3 on the season. Blaine Fry though, long outlet pass, Saunders cross court, Lawton, can he do it again? Bang! Luke Lawton again, a baker's dozen, a very important 13 points for the junior today. And Saunders, even though his shot's struggling, he made a nice pass there. He's got 3 assists on the game. Make that 4 once Easley styles on. Derek goaded a little bit there. And I can't fault Goated for his defense. He played that perfectly, but Easley barely looking at the basket with his offhand, his left hand. He threw up a prayer and it was answered. This is the run we need. How about 9 unanswered points for UT Martin? 44-40. We got 10 and some change left to go. Langford will isolate. Kick out to TJ Clark. He missed the one earlier that he probably should have made, but he's not going to miss 2 times in a row. 13 points for Clark, another senior on this ball club, and then Blaine Fry gives it away. Just when UT Martin was getting back into this game, now they're starting to become sloppy again, and then Blaine Fry is whistled for a ticky-tack call there. DeMonte Harper driving, a terrible call by the ref, and Blaine Fry will have to check out. Teron Gardner will take over as Fry now plays with 3 fouls. End of the shot clock here though. Nice little give and go between Saunders and Hamilton. How about 5 assists now for Marquis Saunders? Very impressive indeed. 47-44, as we are very close to trying to make this a lot more competitive and take this game from Morehead State. Trying to play the role of comeback kids, but that's going to be so hard to do if we can't close out the interior. That is ridiculous there, Teron Gardner. You got to grab that board. 54-44, really starting to feel the pressure now. Easley and Saunders are in danger of playing their last college game, but Diggs, he has an open look there, but somehow he doesn't convert. Come on, Diggs, you've been so hot here and down the stretch in your sophomore year, and lucky, very lucky is Morehead State, as that pass deflected right into the arms of DeMonte Harper. Lawton will try again. That one was pretty ugly. You could see right out of the hand, that kid just came out. We were not even close that time. Under 5 minutes to go, really starting to have to race against the clock here as Phil Barton steps to the line. The backup small forward, first one's good, second one off, but Lawton mistimes his jump, and Justin Slater's there. Oh my goodness, what has happened to UT Martin? Now the lead has grown to 15. Is this really how we're going to go out? Is this how Marquis Saunders and Dwight Easley are going to end their careers here at UT Martin? Oh no, there's another 50-50 ball that doesn't go their way. Easley tipped it loose for a second, but TJ Clark, he regains possession and puts it in. Oh my goodness, the luck down the stretch has not been in UT Martin's favor. We're under 3 minutes to play. Justin Slater inside. There's Easley. He pokes it away. Finally, we get a 50-50 ball, and Saunders will try. He spots up from the corner. That one's good. Book it for Saunders. Saunders up to 13 points, but the lead at that point was also 13. This is not looking very good for UT Martin. Easley, though, that's his favorite spot, top of the key. That one swishes through. Still, though, an uphill battle to climb, and we just did not have what it took down the stretch. We ran out of gas, and Coach Carter with a little bit of a send-off here for his 4 seniors, the last 4 seniors that were on his year 1 team. They work it around. Easley to Devion, Baez to Gene Schofield, back to Dwight Easley to end off their collegiate careers. Man, 67-60. The last 4 players on UT Martin's year 1 team might have just played their last game. Easley was 17 and what might be his last college game. Saunders with 14. Maybe we should have got Easley more looks. I know Saunders, we really needed to run more plays through him, get him some better looks instead of him trying to play too much hero ball. And another big part of this game was the bench playing absolutely horrible. I mean, only 4 bench points from anybody, and on top of that, Blaine Fry and Chris Fay, this wasn't like Austin Peay where they could have just had anything they wanted in the painted area. They were met with a lot more resistance down low from Justin Slater and DeFairs, and neither of them played very well either. This is definitely a disappointing way to end the year. This isn't how it was supposed to go down, guys. I mean, we're supposed to play Morehead State, get our revenge, because we lost both the regular season games against them, and we lost both matchups against Samford. We were supposed to take down Morehead State, play in the championship, and put down the Samford Bulldogs to return to our 2nd straight NCAA tournament appearance, but it just didn't go down like that, and the seniors, the senior class that highlighted Coach Carter's year 1 roster, they've made such great strides. Saunders and Easley almost single-handedly changed this program, and at the end of the day, that's just not how it went down. Morehead State delivers us a heartbreaking loss, but I do have good news, fellas. Listen to this. UT Martin, they may not be participating in March Madness like we all thought. A disappointing ending, definitely fell short of expectations, but they will have some postseason basketball coming your way. UT Martin has been selected for the NIT. They are a 6 seed, and they will be taking on the St. Joseph Hawks here in one of the regions, and the number 1 seed in our region is the Iowa State Cyclones. Okay, so we may be down, but we're not out. We still have a chance to at least win a game here in postseason play for Marquis Saunders, Dwight Easley, Devion, Baez, and Gene Schofield to give him a proper send-off. The NIT is made up of 4 regions of 8 teams apiece, so 32 teams total instead of 64 you'll see in March Madness. But still, the point remains. We're going to have some postseason coming your way. Here in year 4, the NIT is upcoming in the next episode. I hope you guys are excited. I know it's not the NCAAs, guys, but we all know that on this channel, it doesn't matter. We may not always have the storybook ending, but whatever happens, happens, and we live with the result. No March Madness here in year 4, but Coach Carter still has the opportunity to have one last dance in postseason play with Marquis Saunders, Dwight Easley, Devion, Baez, and Gene Schofield. When you see me next with the UT Martin Skyhawks, NIT basketball's coming your way. We're going to end off year 4. Hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned for that here on College Sports Revived.